From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Philippine National Security Advisor or NSA Secretary Eduardo Años said the planned Reciprocal Access Agreement or RAA between the Philippines and Japan will greatly boost the military cooperation between the two nations aside from improving regional security. In a statement Sunday evening, Años said the proposed RAA will facilitate the procedures and set guidelines when Philippine forces visit Japan for training and joint exercises and vice versa. Año added that Japan's commitment to provide coastal surveillance radars and support through the Official Security Assistance or OSA program is a testament to Japanese dedication in strengthening the security and deterrence capabilities of partner countries in the Asia-Pacific region. Ongoing trilateral cooperation between Japan, the Philippines, and the United States is pivotal in safeguarding the freedom of the seas in the West Philippine Sea and promoting international law. Año said the Philippine government is looking forward to the negotiations and implementation of these agreements and initiatives, which will undoubtedly strengthen the partnership and contribute to a more secure and stable Indo-Pacific region.
Dateline Malacañang.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. welcomed the further expansion of the Bagong Pilipinas Serbisyo Fair or BPSF in Santa Cruz, Laguna Province on Saturday, where government services were offered. Special Assistant to the President Antonio Ernesto Lagdameo Jr., who represented the President, said the BPSF aims to provide reliable government services. In his speech, Lagdameo said, "This is in line with the objective of the President to push for a new Philippines where government services are fast, orderly, and within reach for every Filipino." Government services such as application for renewal of application and other requests for assistance were provided during the BPSF, which was participated in by national and local government offices. Coinciding with the BPSF is the launch of the Cash and Rice Distribution or CARD program, undertaken in collaboration with the House of Representatives and the Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD. The CARD program simultaneously kicked off in Metro Manila's 33 legislative districts, with 10,000 poor and vulnerable beneficiaries each, for a total of 330,000 recipients. The distribution will be divided into 4 payouts. There were also 3,000 beneficiaries in the city of Biñan and 2,000 in the city of Santa Rosa in Laguna Province. The chief executive led the BPSF national launch in Nabua, Camarines Sur Province on September 23rd, simultaneously held in Moncayo, Davao de Oro, Tolosa, Leyte, and Lawag in Ilocos Norte. Lagdameo thanked local officials who made the project possible and asked for their continued cooperation to support all initiatives of the national government. He also reminded officials to keep an open heart in serving the Filipino people.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine Presidential Communications Office on Sunday announced that Timor-Leste President Jose Ramos Horta is set to visit the Philippines on November 10th to further strengthen bilateral relations between the Philippines and Timor-Leste. President Ramos Horta's visit will tackle the various areas of cooperation between the Philippines and Timor-Leste in terms of technical, political, educational, and economic partnerships. Philippine agencies that will be present during the visit include the Department of Foreign Affairs, Department of Trade and Industry, Department of Justice, Department of Science and Technology, and Department of Social Welfare and Development. During a bilateral meeting on the sidelines of the 42nd Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN Summit in Indonesia last May, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. assured Timor-Leste of the Philippines' continued support for its move towards becoming a full-fledged member of the regional bloc. Timor-Leste joined the 42nd ASEAN Summit as an observer. President Marcos expressed elation over its journey towards becoming a democratic state and eventually becoming an ASEAN member state. To be granted full membership, Timor-Leste must fulfill various agreements in the political, security, economic, and socio-cultural aspects.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. received Indian Ambassador to the Philippines, His Excellency Shambhu Kumaran, in a courtesy call in Malacañang Palace over the weekend. The President thanked India for helping the country in strengthening its capability in rescue and humanitarian efforts. For his part, Ambassador Kumaran offered 7 helicopters so that the Philippine Coast Guard or PCG can use it during times of calamities in the country. The Indian ambassador added that the helicopters can also help in maritime operations of the PCG. Meanwhile, in the same meeting, President Marcos said that the government is finalizing steps in order to expand the electronic visa that will be used by foreigners staying in the country. This is the chief executive's reply to the ambassador's request of extending the e-visa for Indian nationals in the Philippines. President Marcos said that it won't be just for India, but for several countries as well, since the same principles will just be applied to other countries. The Philippine president said that this is only the beginning of a good exchange between the Philippines and India for the next few years.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippines Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, or OWA, recognized the heroic deeds of overseas Filipino worker, or OFW, Angeline Aguirre in her last moments in Israel as they honored her in a hero's welcome. The program was held at the house of Aguirre in the town of Balagan, Binmalay, Pangasinan Province, and was personally led by OWA Administrator Arnel Ignacio and Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW Officer in Charge, Hans Leo Kakdak. According to information from the DMW, despite the threat to her security and safety, Aguirre did not left the patient she was taking care of. Pangasinan Governor Ramon Guico III also attended the hero's welcome, as well as a number of local officials of the town, led by Mayor Pedro Merera III. OWA also presented to the relatives of Aguirre a number of benefits, including death and burial benefits, which amounted to 220,000 pesos, and Educational Livelihood Assistance Program or ELAP grant worth 15,000 pesos on top of the funeral service package and payment for the returning home of the remains of the OFW. Governor Ramon Guico III and local officials of Binmale also extended a financial assistance of 100,000 pesos to the family. The family of Aguirre thanked OWA, DMW, the provincial government of Pangasinan, and the local government of Binmale for all the help that they provided them.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippines Department of Foreign Affairs or DFA confirmed the arrival of 50 overseas Filipino workers or OFW repatriates starting Monday, November 6 from Israel. This was announced by DFA Undersecretary Eduardo De Vega in a news forum in Quezon City on Saturday. De Vega said the first batch comprising 23 OFWs will arrive on Monday, while the remaining 27 will follow on Tuesday. Undersecretary De Vega is hoping more OFWs who were caught up with the war between Israel and Hamas in the Middle East will be sent home soon. As of Sunday, 123 Filipinos from Israel has arrived in the Philippines. De Vega also said that the first batch of 20 OFWs in Gaza will start crossing the Rafah border to Egypt and will be followed by a second batch of 23 OFWs.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippines rail sector assured Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida the completion of the railway expansion in the country is still on track. In a statement, Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista called Prime Minister Kishida a cheerleader that never goes tired of helping to develop the Philippines. The Philippines rail sector received billions of pesos from Japanese aid. Even before Kishida became Prime Minister, he was instrumental in funneling Japanese assistance to ambitious rail expansions in the country. At least 9 big-ticket transport projects in the country was built using funds from the Japanese aid worth 1.315 trillion yen. This includes 5 rail projects for the LRT Line 1 Cavite Extension, LRT Line 2 East Extension, MRT Line 3 Rehabilitation and Maintenance, North-South Commuter Rail System, and the Metro Manila Subway Project. The Japanese Prime Minister also visited the subway project depot and train simulator room at Valenzuela City.
Dateline Malacañang.
Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida on Saturday reaffirmed Japan's commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific or FOIP and vowed to work with the Philippines and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN to achieve this goal. In his address before the special joint session of Congress at the House of Representatives in Quezon City, Kishida noted how the international community is currently at a historic turning point and the international order based on the rule of law that leaders have taken for granted is under serious threat. The Japanese leader said that after listening to diverse voices of the international community during the G7 summit that he hosted in May this year, He strongly felt that there was the need to return to the very basic foundation that everyone can share, the idea of human dignity. Kishida said he is strongly determined to defend FOIP, lead the international community toward cooperation rather than division and confrontation, and defend freedom and the rule of law at all costs. The new FOIP plan has 4 pillars: uphold principles for peace and rules of prosperity, addressing challenges in an Indo-Pacific way, strengthening multi-layered connectivity, and extending efforts for security and safe use of the sea to the air. Kishida said the first pillar is the idea of building peace by confirming and promoting the basic principles that the international community should uphold, citing as example the link between the stability in the Mindanao region to peace and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific. He said Japan's contributions and cooperation in advancing stability in Mindanao is based on the vision of the FOIP. Kishida said the second pillar is a result of Japan's continuous dialogue with the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, the idea of addressing global challenges in a realistic and practical manner and enhancing resilience and sustainability of each country as an equal partner. 50 years since Japan initiated the dialogue with ASEAN head of the rest of the world, he said Japan and the 10 member nations have helped each other in times of difficulty and nurtured a relationship of trust with a heart-to-heart connection through exchanges amongst peoples in a wide range of fields and at various levels. Kishida said Japan will also promote the third pillar of the new FOIP plan, with ASEAN as one of the priority regions in overcoming vulnerabilities by strengthening the linkages among countries. He said Japan will promote cooperation in line with the ASEAN Outlook on the Indo-Pacific, or AOIP, which resonates with the FOIP. He cited Japan's $100 million new contribution to the Japan-ASEAN Integration Fund in March and the launching of the Japan-ASEAN Comprehensive Connectivity Initiative in September. Both strengthened connectivity in tangible and intangible fronts. In promoting the last pillar of the FOIP, Kishida cited Japan's contributions to Philippine defense and security. These include the 12 ships provided by Japan to the Philippine Coast Guard to enhance Philippines' maritime security capability, the delivery of a warning and control radar by a Japanese firm to the Philippine Air Force in October to improve air domain awareness, and Friday's agreement for the provision of coastal surveillance radars to the Philippine Navy as the first cooperation project in the world under Japan's newly established Official Security Assistance, among others.
Dateline Malacañang.
We conclude our program. We would like to invite everyone to come and visit our Facebook page at Radyo Pilipinas World Service. You will be able to hear and view our Filipino and English programs, including news updates here in the Philippines. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our posts as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.